Brilliant. So Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Tokyo 2021 hopeful Sandy Ryan. Sandy, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. I'm all good.
Glad to hear it. Last time we spoke was last year. You were raring to go once the Olympic qualifiers were rescheduled. But since then, you've had
hmm
some injury problems, been kind of following it from a distance on Instagram. Just tell us a bit about the injury and the rehab process.
Um, so yeah, I had like a major shoulder operation on my shoulder, and basically it needed fixing. It got to the stage like it was probably like 2 years, that 2 3 years that I had suffered with a shoulder injury, and just kept going in fights and sparring, and it got to the point where I needed it repairing. So yeah, I went under the knife, got it fixed. It's been just over 4 months now, and I'm just getting back into like full training. So still progress, still in the rehab stages, like strengthening the shoulder. Yeah, still in that kind of uh, stage on camp at the minute.
When do you expect to be back to doing punching work and so on, or are you already?
I just started back punching, so punching the bags and stuff like that. So should be, the physios are saying possibly another 6 weeks till I could start sparring and stuff. So yeah, bloody hell, it feels like a lifetime.
It must have been really hard for you specifically because you love training, you love the routine of it, and you've had to change your whole routine over this period to rehab the shoulder and ease back a little bit as well. Has that been tough?
Yeah, it's been tough because obviously throughout my whole career, I've just been on camp like weekly for like, I've been on camp at GB now for like 9 years. So it's like this is the longest I've had off, about 3.5 months I've had away from camp. So it has been difficult because I'm used to structure and routine, and because I haven't had that, it's just been like, yeah, it's just been completely different, and it's just made me so excited to get back.
And I see on Instagram you've been doing a lot of strength and conditioning work, not just on the shoulder, but generally as a way of keeping you going, keeping you motivated during this period. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? I know that's meant quite a lot to you.
Yeah, just been trying to do what I can do. There's been weeks where I've been like anyone that's had surgery. Sometimes you get weeks where you don't see any progress, and it kind of puts you on and down. And there's been times where I've been down, but like I say, like motivation, it's not there all the time. But there is a way up, and you can be down 1 minute or 1 week, but there's always a way up. And I just kind of, each week I've took each week as it comes, and anything that's thrown at me, I just get through it. It's kind of like my mindset now. 2021, like whatever happens, we move.
And when did you go back up to GB in Sheffield, and how much of a boost was that to be around all the other squad members for the first time in a while?
Um, I've been back probably like 3 weeks now, so it's been good. Seeing everyone again, and like just being in like work mode and being in a routine and structure, because I've had that all my life. So that's kind of like what I need really, and it's been good to get back.
And you're very close to some of the other girls as well, or you obviously stay with them while you're up in Sheffield, or at least you did previously. So it must have been nice to get back into that routine as well outside of the gym.
Yeah, it was nice to see them again, and yeah, because like camp, it's just banter as well with them, so it's all good.
Good stuff. Now, there's a lot going on about the Olympics at the moment. The qualifier was going to go ahead or resume, the European qualifier, that is, was going to resume in April. They've now said it's not going to be in the UK and they're looking to reschedule. I think we're expecting an announcement on that next week. But the world qualifier, which is the one you'd be aiming for, is still tentatively booked in for June. Are you kind of aiming everything towards that? Is that when you're looking to peak for?
Yeah, that's what I'm aiming for. Hopefully, hopefully it goes ahead. And yeah, I'll be ready for then. I just need a couple more months and I'll be ready to go. So yeah, if it all goes ahead, I'll get my opportunity to go to the second qualifiers and book my spot for the Olympics.
How much do you keep yourself aware of what's going on with the Olympics in general? Like we saw, I think it was yesterday or the day before, the president of the organising committee had been forced to resign. There's obviously the European qualifier, as we've talked about, hasn't got a fixed date yet to resume. Do you have to shut all that out because you want to keep that Olympic dream alive? You don't want to be thinking about stuff you can't control?
Yeah, this is the thing. Like nobody can control it, and I've kind of like how I see it this year is if it happens, it happens. If it don't, I move on. Like obviously, I will learn to not let it affect me if it doesn't happen. But I know either way, I'm going to have a big and a bright future. Turning pro. So yeah.
We talked about that before, that when you didn't get the nod to go to the first qualifier, there were people interested in you turning pro then. You wanted to stay amateur because it's your dream to go to the Olympics. With everything getting kind of put back and no one knowing quite what's going on, have you had even more kind of offers and people trying to turn your head and to move you towards the pro game?
Well, yeah, obviously, it's getting closer now, so I've already been planning. Plans already been in place. Whether the Olympics goes ahead or not, I've already got a plan in place that I'm definitely turning over this year.
Can you tell us anything about that plan at all?
I knew you would say that. Basically, well, I've got a manager, and it's going to be announced start of March. So I'm excited for people to see who I'm going to be working with and who's going to be guiding my career to the top with me. So yeah, like I've planned, and well, my focus is on the Olympics, and my focus is still solely on the Olympics because it can still happen. So yeah, all I'm doing now, I'm getting ready, taking week by week as it comes, getting 100% ready so I can start punching people again in the face.
2020 was a huge year for female pro boxing, particularly in the UK. Was there anyone or any fights that you were particularly impressed with? And also, it must make you kind of even more eager to turn over after the Olympics to see how well everyone's doing.
Yeah, like women's boxing just keeps getting bigger and bigger, doesn't it, as the years? I remember the last time we spoke and was on about this, and it's just got bigger since as well. Like, and Eddie and Matching, they're just doing like big things for women's boxing. Yeah, there's just so many that are doing well at the minute. It is really good to see, and it's really good for women's boxing. And in the next cycle, like myself and a few other girls that will be turning pro, it's just going to get bigger because then people are going to see a more variety of women boxing. And yeah, like it's so much things to be looking forward to, and especially if you're a boxing fan, a women's boxing fan as well, like you get ready, get your popcorn ready.
I think it's quite an eye-opener as well. Like when Ellie Scotney had her pro debut, obviously she was on GB with you not too long ago. And people seem to be quite surprised on social media and stuff, like how good she was compared to some of the female boxing they'd seen previously. And it just shows how different it is to have that long amateur background, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, Ellie, she's been went to world championships with her and stuff like that, and the pedigree that you bring when you've been at, like, you've got a good amateur backing, like especially GB background, what we can bring is something that a lot of other females can't bring, because like the experience, the drilling that we've had week in, week out on camp for myself for 9 years, and other people have not got that. And the experience of I'll be going to other countries and fighting 3-4 times in a week against different opponents, very different boxing styles. So like a lot of people will see the high standards when a lot more girls will turn over as well. It's already out there though. The standards are already out there, and it's showing with the pros that are out there now. But it's just exciting. It's just going to be more coming, so it's good.
You're something of a trailblazer for female boxing, certainly in the amateurs. But who did you look up to when you were first getting into the sport? Because there can't have been that many role models at the
time. Not like many female role models at the time when I was getting in. The person that inspired me was my older brother, Dave. So he was like my inspiration to turn over. And then as the years got on, like you got like the big names like Kay smashing it, isn't she, for women's boxing, and she's leading away for all the women behind her, and just I'd say my brother was my inspiration. And yeah.
What made you feel when you were young and getting into it that it could be like a career path for a woman? Because at the time, again, professional female boxing wasn't a big deal back then at all.
No, because I just had my eyes set on Olympics. So, and when I started, I used to play football. I was always sporty, and then I got into boxing, and I was like, if I'm not any good at it, I won't do it. And then when I started to do it, and I started to think, actually, I could do something like this, I could box in my country and this and that. And yeah, like the Olympics was always my goal, because when I first started, women's professional side wasn't as big as what it is now. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people tell me that the pros are going to suit me well.
And do you agree with that? Obviously, you watch a lot of pro boxing. You know your own style. Do you think it will suit you better than the amateurs, perhaps?
Yeah, I do agree with that. I do agree that like you're going to see a lot the best of me when I'm a pro. Longer rounds, more rounds, should I say? And I just grew up in a professional boxing gym. I grew up at One Nation boxing gym, and that's just full of like where my brother was at for his whole career. Like I've trained with professionals, I sparred with professionals growing up as a kid at the gym. So I just feel like it's all, and then with the GB experience and what they have taught me, like they taught me everything a lot in life, like growing up, and just the experience that I've had with GB, and then what I had with my club gym, it's just going to make me into a real good professional, and I believe that.
Good stuff. Now, during this period away from the ring, you launched your own YouTube channel. Just tell us a little bit about that.
I did launch it. Obviously, since my shoulder surgery, I've not done any content whatsoever. But now it's pretty dead. No, but no, it's good because now I'm getting back into training. So I'm gonna sort out getting some more content, and so we'll kick that off this year as well. So it's all kicking off this year. YouTube channel, pro, Olympics, whatever.
With that in mind, with it going to be a big year for you, just let people out there know how they can find you on different social media platforms.
Yeah, so you can find me at Sandy Ryan 93 on Twitter and Instagram. I got a Facebook page, but not a lot of people use Facebook nowadays, do they? Instagram, Twitter is where it's at.
Good as mine, but yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, so
Brilliant. Well, really appreciate your time
Cool.
as always, and yeah, look forward to seeing you back in competitive action soon as.
And thanks, Danny. Thank you.
Take care. Speak soon.
Bye bye.
See ya.